All right, let's jump right in. A headline popped up recently that, on the surface, seems pretty straightforward. Former Prime Minister Abhisit gave a talk at the Faculty of Political Science at Chulalongkorn University. Sounds like a standard academic event, right? But, when we're talking about the world of Thai politics, things are rarely that simple. An event like this can be absolutely packed with meaning.
So, the big question is, why is this even a story? I mean, a former leader speaking to a bunch of students? Why should that make us sit up and pay attention? Well, to really get to the bottom of it, we need to unpack three things: the person, the place, and crucially, the timing. So let's break it all down.
First up, let's talk about the man himself, Abhisit Vajrayana. Now, for anyone who follows Thai politics, this name is instantly recognizable. But just for a quick refresher, it's really important to understand the sheer weight his name carries.
And wow, just look at this timeline. The sheer length and arc of his career is what's really striking here. This wasn't some brief moment in the spotlight. We're talking about a political journey that spans nearly 3 decades. He got into parliament way back in the early 90s, climbed the ladder to lead one of the country's oldest parties, reached the very top as prime minister, and then officially stepped back from a leadership role in 2019. This isn't just some retired politician. He's a real heavyweight of the political establishment.
And this number, 27, really drives that point home. He was the 27th Prime Minister of Thailand. That's a title that puts him in a very, very small and incredibly influential club. That title alone carries enormous weight and immediate public recognition.
So, his political identity is made up of a few key things. He was at the helm of the Democrat Party for a solid 14 years, which means he really shaped its direction for a whole generation. His academic background, as an Oxford-educated economist, that really defined his brand. And even though he's been a bit less visible on the front lines lately, his status as a major figure has never really gone away. Okay, so that's the who. Now let's get to the second key piece of this puzzle, the where. Because this wasn't just any old lecture hall. This was the Faculty of Political Science at Chulalongkorn University. And trust me, in this story, the venue is just as important as the speaker.
Pol Sci Chula, as it's known, is so much more than a university department. It is one of the most prestigious, most influential centers for political thinking in the entire country. For generations, this is where future ministers, top-level civil servants, and political leaders have been educated. It's basically the training ground for the elite.
And this quote really sums it up perfectly. It's a symbolic space. Showing up here isn't just an academic talk. It's an engagement with the very heart of the country's intellectual and political future. It's the place you go to be seen and heard by the people who are likely going to be in power tomorrow. So now we've got our two pieces, a high-profile former prime minister and a highly influential political forum. The final piece, and this is the one that really gets all the speculation going, is the timing.
We have the who and the where. So the million-dollar question is, why is this happening right now? Because in politics, especially when things are changing, timing isn't just a small detail. It's absolutely everything.
And that's the essential context here. This talk didn't just happen in a vacuum. It comes at a moment when Thailand's political landscape is in a state of flux. Parties are shifting, alliances are being redrawn, and in that kind of environment where the future of leadership feels a little uncertain, even a small, subtle move can be a way to float a name back into the national conversation. It's why every single action from a major player gets scrutinized for some kind of hidden meaning. This brings us to the really fun part of all this, the signals and the speculation. What are political observers actually reading into this appearance?
Broadly speaking, you've got two main camps, two ways of looking at this. First, there's the return to academia theory. This view says, hey, it's exactly what it looks like on the tin. A former leader, an expert in his field, sharing his knowledge with the next generation. It's all about education. But then, there's the political signal theory. This interpretation sees it as a very calculated move, a way to step back into the public eye, remind everyone he's still around, and maybe, just maybe, test the political waters without having to announce a thing.
And here's the brilliant part. For people who have been watching Thai politics for a long time, the fact that it can be interpreted in both of these ways, well, that's the entire point. The ambiguity gives him perfect plausible deniability. If anyone asks, it was just a lecture. But to those who read the political tea leaves, it's a clear signal that a major player is still on the board, keeping his options very much open. So we're left with this lingering question. Was this just a former prime minister returning to the lecture circuit? Or was it the quiet opening move in a brand new chapter of Thai politics? The true answer might not be clear for months or maybe even years.
But the fact that we're all asking the question is exactly what makes this simple little headline so incredibly significant.